What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is big. This is absolutely insane news in this video. You're going to want to see it. Everyone who is holding Lunar Classic right now needs to see this. So do me a favor, hit that like button. Let's get this over 1,000 likes because this is absolutely monumental in the history of Terra Lunar Classic. And already, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so and join. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers on this channel. I appreciate every single one of you. But let's jump into this video. So first and foremost, let's just take a look at the chart. We see we're in the 5, 4, 8 range, and we did touch the 6s, albeit very, very short-lived. And then we saw this pretty big sell about 1:15 my time on the back of that Binance news where they were not going to implement 1.2% burn on all transactions and trades through Binance, which I think everybody was anticipating. But on the macro, 25.17% or 27% up again on the day, and currently, like we said, trading at that 5 range, which is absolutely insane. Money flow looking really good. Again, we saw this money flow come out, RSI trending in the middle, which is kind of pretty exciting. So what is the big news? Well, we got the proposal now. We got the news that we were going to be implementing the 1.2% burn tax and to that value. So it says the proposal initiates the tax for all on-chain transactions as first described in 3568 and 4159. So for me, this is a journey that is culminating in this moment right now where you have all voted, validators have voted, everybody has voted. Look at this, 99.88% of the people that voted and the people that the validators have this voted yes. Absolutely an insane number, and it shows the sentiment and equally the strength of the community that sits behind it. It says taxes will be charged and burned for on-chain activities such as sending between wallets and smart contracts that interact with the chain. If this passes the target block where the system recalibrates the tax block 9475200. Now we know that's in and around the 20th, and what I would say is this thing passed the threshold in no time at all, which tells me there's an incredible sentiment to get this done. So we will see 1.2% burn on every transaction on Terra Station on the Lunar Classic network. What we want to see is on some of the exchanges. Now we know KuCoin have come out and said they'll support it. MEXC is another one. Binance is the one that we are still waiting for. But what does it actually mean, and what are we going to see? What's going to be different? Well, this proposal actually breaks it down. I'm not going to go through the full thing, but it does. The couple of bits I wanted to pull out. It says here, look, the proposal will set the treasury rate min and rate max. That gives us a 1.2% burn. Remember, that is a parameter that can be changed using that DAO, using that governance function. So if they wanted to increase it, we could vote on it as a community. If they wanted to decrease it, we could do that as well. And it's all going to be depicted on volume that comes through. It says further on, the change rate will be set to 0.0, preventing the tax rate from changing over epochs on the blockchain. The reward policy rate min and rate max will be set to 1 with a change rate met at 0.0. The reward policy specifies how much of this should be burned. So big news. What does it mean? Here's the examples of what we're going to see in terms of the tax. It says, for example, here we describe several taxes to and from wallets. So Binance to Binance off-chain will have no tax. And again, this is what he came out and said, unless they internally force them to move the code to hot wallet. On-chain to Binance will be taxed. On-chain to other centralized exchanges will be taxed. Binance to on-chain taxed. Other CEXs to on-chain. When it says on-chain, it means the Terra Classic chain. On-chain to on-chain, this is a message send which will be taxed. Delegate to validator not taxed. Undelegate from validator not taxed, which again makes sense to me. Withdrawals from validators won't be taxed. Vote on governance proposals not taxed. Again, makes sense. Propose new governance not taxed. And swapping from LUNC to UST currently disabled but not taxed. Other taxes may apply, and that's probably one that I think we've talked about and certainly is on the agenda, is the transaction and the change through LUNC to UST. Now we know that repegging UST is on the roadmap from the Terra Rebel, so we're gonna have to wait and see what that looks like. But note the transactions related to governance, staking and swaps without sending to different wallets are not taxed via this mechanism, i.e. the message swap. It says message delegate, etc. Delegating to validators and withdrawing delegation rewards are not taxed either. So what we are going to see is we are going to see that implementation of the 1.2% burn tax, which everybody has worked so hard to get. And I, for one, I'm a big supporter of it. I think it's definitely what we need. We've seen the insane amount that we can get in terms of burn, and we can take a quick look on the burns currently. We know MEXC has implemented this based on their volume, but their volume is significantly lower than some that are like Binance. Currently, we nearly touched $4 billion billion in terms of volume. But look at MEXC right now, and we've been doing this, I think it's about 4 or 5 days now. It initially started all the way back down here with 11 million tokens, then it doubled, then it 14 million, then we saw the double to 22.5 million, and then we saw some pretty big moves, 71 million here, and then 35 million yesterday. So actually, there is a huge amount of potential with this. We know there's about 5 exchanges that have come out. We know KuCoin being kind of one of those, so MEXC and KuCoin, and that's going to be really interesting to see what sort of volume that gets put through. But Binance, we're going to have to sit and wait. I did a video earlier talking about my view on that, and look, there's a lot coming through with Binance. I think there's definitely a bit around, he said he wanted to see it on chain first. We are yet to see it on chain, albeit everything is set. Everything is coded in and everything is ready to rock and roll on the 20th of September. Does it mean we'll see that between now and then? Quite possibly. Remember, we've 12 days until we see that go live on the blocks. Actually, it's gone to September 21st, so it has gone back 1 day. So, you know, we've got the best part of 13 days until we see this go live. So there's still a ton of potential with it. And actually, the 1.2 is going to be crazy. If you think this was driven out of Binance potentially listing it, what are we going to see when we see that initial launch of the 1.2% burn tax? And actually, we're seeing 100 million, 500 million, a billion tokens every day, or a billion coins every day going through that burn tax. It's all going to be dependent on volume. It's all going to depend on what we've got going through. But look, as of right now, 3.549 trillion coins through volume today. Again, over what we've been averaging by a good trillion. So it's definitely going to be insane. We're definitely going to see some movement in the price. And I, for one, I'm pretty excited. I'm holding my bag. Haven't sold a single coin because I think we are going to be knocking on the door of getting rid of a zero by the end of this year, maybe even before if the volume attributes it. But let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? What do you think of the Binance tax? And equally, what's your price prediction by the end of September? And I appreciate all the support. Don't forget to hit the like button. It pushes up in the algorithm, lets everybody know about what is going on with Terra Luna Classic, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.